Have you ever wondered what it is like to be affected by zero-day Trojan without you knowing or without any security analyst being aware of this? Anyways, in this video, I would show you how I proactively discovered a zero-day Trojan within our organization. I would walk you through the steps on how I mitigated this threat, how I discovered it, and all the measures I took to investigate this threat. It all happened on a lazy Tuesday when you're less busy. There is nothing much to do, and you're just scrolling, checking what's going on in the news. And I came across this article that says there is a global malware Windows infection of Windows computer recently. So I decided to read more about this threat and check other sources and articles just to see what I can find. And I discovered that it is a PDF editor, so basically a PDF converter. And as soon as you install it, it also comes with a Trojan. And what the Trojan does is that it steals your browser credentials, it bypasses Windows Defender protection, and it turns your device into a proxy. Trust me, you don't want to have this kind of malware in your device. So I gathered all the IOCs together, and then I decided to perform a threat hunting to see if any of my clients have been affected with this PDF malware. So I came up with a query based on the IOCs I found. I added the file hash and the file name. So just to interpret this query, it is device file events. So I want you to check the device file events where the file has this hash or the file name has PDF editor absolute pdf.msi, and then I want you to give me these results: the device name, the file name, the file hash for the path. And so this is just basically an interpretation of this query. And the results that you see here are actually based on my test environment. So because I also downloaded the PDF because I wanted to see what it does. The important skill of a security analyst is to be able to perform advanced threat hunting. So this helps you proactively find or discover threats or security incidents which you don't even know about. And so that is what I did for my clients. So after I got all this information, I did advanced threat hunting. And a lot of my clients were affected by this malware. So I copied the file hash and I put it on virus total. As you can see, it is a dangerous Trojan. You don't want this in your environment. So now I'm just going to walk you through the steps and how I mitigated this threat, how I made sure that it is removed completely from our client's device. So this is my test environment, and everything here is just based on a real life scenario. So, I wasted no time. I checked the files. So this is the file, or these are the files. This is the PDF editor. And here it says it is found in over 13,947 devices worldwide. And that's because it's just a normal PDF editor. It does what it's supposed to do to convert your PDF to whatever you want it to. And what triggers this Trojan is the MSI update. And a lot of people has this file for as long as maybe 1 year in their devices. It is also signed, which makes it difficult for Windows detection. What I did was just to stop and quarantine the file immediately. And next, I also added it as an indicator. And that means you're adding this file hash. So if anyone wants to download this PDFEditor.exe and it matches this file hash, then the Windows protection will trigger an alert that this is a custom block. So you cannot download this file because the file hash has been added to the block rule. And I added this file hash some days ago. Yes, so this is it. And That's a very good measure to take. So if we look at this incident, you can see it bypasses Windows Defender. It also has a like VGOF, I don't know how it's pronounced, VIGOF or VGOF malware. And you don't want this running through your network because it's really dangerous. It also steals credentials. So an active info stealer malware was detected. So it does a lot of crazy things in your device. So because it's signed, makes it difficult for Windows detection. Next thing I did was to inform the user that was infected that I would be changing your password. I would revoke your user session and also your tokens. So let's just pick a user for example. Any user, and you can do this via Entra, which is the identity platform. So I can just pick a random user. So I revoke the session because, for example, the token might be stolen and hackers can use it to log in again. And then I also revoked the MFA sessions. I required the user to re-register MFA and then I reset the password for the user. So that way, the user is at least 80 to 90% safe. Next thing I did was to go into the device to see if truly the files I put on quarantine is still in the device. I can't use this anymore because I already destroyed this test device. So I will just be picking a random device just to show you how you can do this. So, I blocked the file, I stopped it from running, and then I added it as an indicator. So now I just want to double check and I'll show you how you can do that. So let's say, for example, the user downloaded the you would initiate live response session. So let's say, for example, the user downloaded this PDF file in the download folder. So you can just check the directory and then you can see the users. So these are all the steps and see the downloads. And then the next thing, okay, let's just say ls. So this is to double check. Yes. So cd Walter. If the file is still in the download folder. And if it's still there, you can also quarantine it directly through this live response session. You can check ls in the downloads. So if there is nothing here, for example, then it shows that the PDF file was removed truly or it was stopped. If it's not there, you can just type. If the PDF file is still in the device, like if you see it here, then you can just quarantine it directly. So you can just use remediate, and this will remediate the file for you. Next thing I did for my client was to check the device to see if there is any C2 command or if any data has been exfiltrated to unknown IP address or to unknown websites, or if in general there is a suspicious DNS connection. So you can just go into the device timeline. So you open the device page and then you check the device timeline to see what has happened during that time. So here you can just, have a good look to see if there is any outbound connection between your device to a strange IP address, and you can keep following and keep track. So this was how I was able to, quarantine the file, remediate the whole thing. And with the help of threat hunting, I was able to proactively discover this threat, and because it didn't trigger an alert on our CM2, so on Microsoft Sentinel or on our XDR. And another important thing I did was to run a full scan, which is very important. So I did a full antivirus scan, and so that can remove extra processes that are inside the device which I don't know about. And this step is also very important to always run a full scan. Thank you very much, and I would really appreciate if you can like this video, subscribe. Thank you.